Hey, what's up? Welcome to another episode of bcast. I'm Gio.
I'm Bart.
And today we are podcasting from separate rooms. I'm currently in my bedroom looking at my lumpy duvet here, so ignore that.
And I'm in my office quarantining. I've been here for quite a few days already. So I apologize if the video and audio quality isn't the best. But as soon as I'm done with my quarantine, then we can go back to our studio and podcast the correct way. So only be a few episodes that are like this, but this is the only responsible way that we can podcast.
I feel like our audio is probably the best it's ever been right now.
No way. Compared to the studio?
Because it's so quiet. Okay, anyway. Okay, so what happened?
Honestly, I don't know. So last week I got a scratchy throat. And I really thought it was from training because every time that I start training really hard, getting ready for a powerlifting meet, my central nervous system is compromised. My immunity is down. And it's very easy for me to get sick. And I almost get sick 2 to 3 weeks out from every single powerlifting meet, like without fail. So this time, because I do have a mock meet in the middle of December, I thought that's what it was going to be, that I was just getting sick.
And honestly, really, it has been without a fail.
Without a fail.
Every time you exert your body to the max, what's your CNS responsible for people that don't know?
So both your immune system and your central nervous system, and your central nervous system is literally responsible for any type of muscular movement or exertion, because it goes from your brain down to your brainstem, down to your spine, and it controls your fingers, you're pulling, you're lifting, like any type of movement is responsible for all of that. And your central nervous system and your immune system both run off of vitamin C. They use huge amounts of vitamin C, especially if you're in a lifting environment, you're training hard, then you're really taxing that adrenal gland. And your adrenal gland is what produces adrenaline, because you're always inducing that adrenaline rush before you lift, like you get amped up. So when you exhaust your vitamin C storages for your lifting and training purposes, you don't have that much left for your immunity. So your immunity starts to drop down. So when people get sick, and it's like all kinds of sicknesses, especially like the common cold, it's not that there's like, randomly like the cold jumped on you. It's because like, you know how like the old wives tell, like a lot of Asians feel like this, where like, oh, you go outside into the cold, you're going to catch a cold. It's not that the actual drop in temperature is what causes you to catch the virus. It's that shock of the CNS. And if you're not ready for it, now that your CNS is like, oh, I got to protect this guy because he's cold now, then your immunity is down and it's easier for the cold to kind of like invade you. So that's kind of like the balance back and forth. And that's why having high amounts of vitamin C is so important. Because if one side takes it all, then now your immunity is also compromised. And so because of that, every time I train my freaking ass off and there's like 12, 14 weeks of accumulation, I usually get sick. And so I thought this time with my scratchy throat, I thought, oh, cool, this is powerlifting meet. But because COVID is going around right now, it's very important for me to get tested, not only for my family, but also for Gio's mom and also our friends that are pregnant. So we want to be responsible and like, we want to immediately like know what the hell's going on, you know?
Yeah.
So I went to go get tested at urgent care to rule everything out. I got 4 tests. I got the actual COVID, like, do you have it now test, the antibody test. Did you have it before? Because I could have sworn I had it before back in Vegas last year.
Yeah, we have a vlog about it where we ended up in the emergency room because you were so sick. Like I was even sick. I'm like, what the hell happened?
Yeah, we paid for those like IV drops. And then I was like, man, this is really bad. And I remember the whole time you're like, are you sure? Like, is it that bad? I'm like, yeah, I could barely breathe. It felt like I was breathing through a straw. And then they hooked me up to a respirator. And I had like extreme hot and cold chills and body aches. So
yeah, I remember you were like every time you've gotten sick, it's usually pretty freaking extreme and violent. Like your throwing up is always so violent.
Yeah.
Like that's like the worst I've ever heard from you. Like you throwing up is like, it comes from your butthole and then it like travels out of your mouth.
I
Like
think
it's
it comes from the bottom of my toes first.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts, man.
Yeah.
Okay, that was a better one.
It comes all
But yeah,
the way
you
from my
get
toes. And
you get really sick.
and launch
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, your cough is really bad. You'll get a lot of phlegm. Like you get every extreme, like when it's sick, it's like at the extremist point.
Yeah. So yeah, and then I was also during that whole Vegas sickness, I was also like, oh man, this feels so bad. I need an emergency doctor before I went to the emergency room. And I found one of those Vegas doctors that could come for $500. And then
Right, because you couldn't move. You were like bedridden. And you had body aches and
I really
chills.
felt like I was breathing out of a straw. Like it would take me a good 60 seconds to take a full breath. Because it'd be like, like that. It was so bad. And then, so I felt like,
you looked really cute when you did that.
Oh, really? I'm like, damn, I need I don't know, inhaler or something. And then I found a Vegas doctor that was $500 for the visit. When I called him, it was like 2 a.m. And he goes, it'll be $1,000. And I'm like, what? And he goes, it's the weekend, buddy. And I'm like, hell no, I don't want a doctor that talks to me like that. So
rude ass.
Yeah, I just waited until urgent care to go see a doctor. But yeah, so that's why I wanted to take the antibody. Like I felt like I had it already. And then because it's also flu season, the current doctor at the urgent care that I went to, he was like, if you want to rule everything out, it is also flu season. And people forget about that because COVID's so big that if you really want to rule everything out, you want to make sure that you also take the influenza A and influenza B test because it's that's what's going on right now too. So I'm like, okay, cool, let's take all 4 of them. And I was really hoping it was just like the whole influenza one. But then the doctor called me and he goes, yep, you're positive for COVID. And I was like, shit. I'm like, all right. So I was like, what do I need to do now? And he goes, well, you need to go home. And if you have family, put them away, quarantine yourself for 10 days and we'll see you in 10 days. And I'm like, why
did the family got to get put away? You get put away.
Well, I did get put away. Yeah.
I'm like, why did he tell you to put us away?
I don't know. Well, probably because he knows I'm with you. So he's probably like, put that grumpy ass wife away.
Hey, it's freaking early, okay?
Fine.
We don't have a sitter right now. It's been a challenge. Okay, so let's go back a little bit to when you first found out, right? He delivers the news to you.
Yeah.
What's your initial reaction? Because we haven't even talked about this.
I didn't even get a chance to really have one because he said it so like he said it 1,000 times already.
He probably did.
Yeah. So what the process is at this place is you get tested, then you go back to your car. So everyone, like you're in line to fill out paperwork to get tested. And of course you're like socially distanced, you're like 6 feet apart in line. But the minute
wearing a mask.
Yeah. But the minute that you're done, everyone goes back to their car until they call you. And like, they'll actually, like for me, they actually called me on my phone or as the young people say, as they call you.
Yeah, no one does this anymore, old guy.
I know. So when they called, no, I'm just kidding. So he sent me back to the car and I was just laying in the car. And then when he called me, I'm like, oh, hello. And he goes, hi. And he goes,
wow, that was so pleasant. Oh, hello. Hello.
No, he didn't say it like that. No, he was just like, so you're positive. And I was like, oh, shit.
You're like, yeah, I really am a positive guy.
No, then that's it. And I was like, I didn't even get a chance to, they didn't butter me up like, oh, and so unfortunately, or, like none of that normal, like.
Just straight to the point.
You know how they have that positive sandwich? Like,
no.
Oh, like, so your
usually doctors.
Good. And then they hit you with the truth and then they give you a positive outlook.
I've never heard that with doctors, at least the ones that I've gone with. They just get straight to the point and they just tell you. Like there's no emotional attachment.
Yeah. That's what this guy did. He's like, so you're
They have bedside manners, but it's not like what I would like to hear. Like I would want a hug and then deliver the bad news and just be like, hey, it's okay though. We're going to get through this. You know what I mean? But like, it's not one of those.
No, he just said you're positive and it's positive COVID and you don't have the flu. I'm like, okay, thank you.
It's like, fuck, bye. Bye.
Yeah. So that's, I didn't really get a chance to even like, I was just like, honestly, the biggest reaction was more internal. And I was like, shit, So you're telling me that I can't do the mock meet that I've been training for this whole time?
You're a fucking meathead.
I'm this close to squatting 500. This whole year I've been training my ass off to squat 500. I'm so I hit.
I think you're here now.
I hit 485 in the gym without peaking for it.
What does peaking mean for people that don't know what the fuck that means?
So you want me to put on my stupid like science hat on?
No, fine.
I'll put on science hat. All right, so this is what peaking is, okay? So the training effect happens when you're training, and this is what your body's used to in terms of volume. Volume means the amount of work done on any given time period, day, week, month, or whatever, right? So like, let's say you do 10 push-ups a day and you're trying to do an all-out push-up test and you want to see if you can get like 50 or maybe even 100. So if you can only do max of 10 push-ups, what you want to do is you do anywhere from like 50 to 70% of that. So every day you only do 5 or 7, but then you do 5 or 7 each time. And for the first week, you might only do 1 set of that each time. The next week, you might do 2 sets, 3 sets, 4 sets, 5 sets. So you can see that throughout the day now, you're probably doing like 30 push-ups to maybe 50 push-ups over the day. So you're building volume. Once you build this volume over time, your body is accustomed to a new amount of body of work and has a new training stimulus, and your body is forced to adapt. Now that your body is forced to adapt, you have to manage fatigue, because if you do too much on the day of the test, your body's going to be tired from the last months of training. So now you reduce volume, and that's what you call peaking. You reduce volume, but your body still thinks it's going this way. So this thing called supercompensation happens. And so when supercompensation happens, that's when your body continues to adapt as your body starts to recover. And usually it takes, in our sport, anywhere from 4 to 3 to 2 weeks, depending on your training level. And then you finally compete. And so now your body is at its most stimulated phase while the most recovered. And that's when you do your meet. And if you're used to only doing 10 push-ups, but you build up that much volume, maybe you'll hit 30, 40, 50.
That was very, very well done.
I'm actually very proud of myself because I haven't
explained it.
I haven't officially coached anyone for a few years. So these concepts are so ingrained in me that I understand all of it, but I haven't verbally spit it out in a long time. And
you did a great job.
I think I did a good job.
Yeah, you did a great job. Okay, so you peaked for it.
So I didn't peak for it. So mid-training,
you were about to.
In full fatigue, full volume, I hit 485 still.
Wow.
So if I would have peaked for it, I mean, I think like I probably could have hit 500 that day.
Damn, Twog.
Yeah.
So now what happened?
So
like what happened? Like it just, how far back do you think this sets you?
Really depends. So while in quarantine, I did my first workout yesterday. I'm not 100% yet, but I do want to like slowly get myself acclimated. So I just did a really light, like body weight push-up and air squats type of workout. It was only 10 minutes long. So if I can keep moving, then at least I'll keep my lungs expanding while I'm healing, and then keep my heart rate up and at least get some movement in my body. I probably need 3 weeks to get back to where I was after I come out.
Wow.
I'm on the good side, 3 to 4 weeks maybe. And then I'd have to build up volume after that for like a month and then peak.
Wow.
12 weeks probably.
Shit. That's nuts. Well, I'm happy that because you have asthma, that was like my biggest fear when I found out you had it. Like my initial obviously was like, okay, get away from us. Cause we also tested. I took Taika and myself. And as soon as we found out Bart had it, I immediately went, same clinic, got tested, got the rapid test results. And for some reason, I don't know why I thought kid testing would be different, but Taika still had to get the exact same thing us adults got, which was the nose swab.
Yeah.
And then we also,
his would be like even smaller or something. Because look how big our noses are, right? And
yeah.
You see how tiny his nose is?
I know. He barely has any nostrils. They're so little.
And half of them's covered with boogies. Like this is literally this is what his nose looks like. If you look into his nose, it literally looks like that. Like I see him around all the time and I'm playing with him. And every time he's upside down, This guy
You see
has
the
like,
boogies?
he has boogies in both noses. It always looks like this.
I'm happy to see you have fruit with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking funny. Yeah, so for some reason I thought the test was going to be different for him, but we did get the swab. And honestly, I was like, as soon as I found out you had it,
How did you feel?
Okay, so because you had it, and we do literally everything together. We
Yeah.
sleep together, we shared food and drinks. We recently had sex, like,
Oh yeah.
oh yeah. You know what I mean? Like we had just like hooked up, you know what I mean?
Do you
That
know
I
what the
just
safest way to have COVID sex is?
wear a mask.
No, 69.
But then what if we give it to my vag?
Oh, I'm gonna give it to your vag, all right.
What
Your
was I
vag
gonna
be
say?
coughing. It's gonna be your vag's gonna lose. Your
Ew,
vag's gonna lose taste.
that's nasty.
I'm just kidding.
What was your question? Oh, how did I feel?
Oh, no,
I just started picturing a dirty vag.
How do you have sex?
No, that was your fucking ADD question. That's not the first question you asked me. Here's lip gloss. There's too many things for me to play around right here. But yeah, so okay, so because of our relationship and just how much we do shit together, and just because we're married, like my initial reaction was, oh shit, okay, then that means we have it too. So immediately I was like, well, I don't want to take that fucking swab of your nose test, because I have taken a COVID test before, but the ones I took, they were always the behind the throat, like where they jam the thing behind your throat.
Oh.
Yeah, I took
Which
that.
one was worse?
They're actually the same.
Not
But
the same.
initially I was like, okay, I just assumed that I had it.
The nose one does go pretty far back though.
So does the throat one. But I guess because I'm used to just shit hitting the back of my throat.
Yeah, you are. Hell yeah, you.
I was like, stick it in. Watch me not gag. But I gagged because I'm a good girl.
Fake gagged.
Yeah, I had to, right? She like poked it. She's like, nothing. And I'm like, oh, Yeah, it's a fake gag. Hey, but wait, hold up. I gotta pause here because it's so business as usual, and I gotta say thank you to our sponsor. So I'm gonna talk about our sponsor first.
Shout out to our sponsor, Usual Wines. Usual Wines is wines for the modern drinker. And what makes it modern, you say? Each bottle is 6.3 ounces. So a heavy pour, or about a glass and a half of wine. So no more pouring wine down the sink when you don't finish the bottle. Because of the single serve format and bottle design, Usual is always fresh and no more flat, bubbly, or stale rosé. The wines are low carb and have 0 grams of sugar, which is perfect for fitness. If you guys just want to have a little bit of wine and still stay under your caloric goal, this is perfect. Usual has a red blend, a rosé, and a sparkly wine called Brut. They also have a limited production B-Root rosé just for the summer. And but don't grapes contain sugar? Well, to clarify, all Usual wines are produced using natural, sustainable grapes harvested every fall. These grapes are picked at the optimal ripeness to ensure all sugar will be fermented completely until the wines are dry with no residual sugar, and all that is left over is the delicious and clean wine. And the process of fermentation happens when natural yeasts eat the naturally occurring sugar in the grapes. So in goes the sugar, out comes the alcohol. And some winemakers will purposefully end fermentation early to keep a little sugar in the wine. Usual wines are fermented until no more sugars are in the wine. So this ensures the wines are as dry as possible and lower in calories. And there's a special holiday product coming. It's called the Usual Reserve. It's an ultra premium limited edition Mount Vidier Cabernet Sauvignon. Introducing Usual Reserve. Sauvignon. No. This is our most special wine yet, just in time for the holidays. Hailing from one of the most celebrated plots of land in all of Napa, this Cabernet Sauvignon is concentrated and rich with just enough grip. Gift it to someone special or keep it all to yourself. The holidays as usual. Go check out their website at www.usualwines.com and use our discount code BEAW, BEAW, for $8 off your first order. And that's BEAW for $8 off your first order, and try your first glass on us.
And we're back. Okay. So yeah, I gagged because I'm a good girl, but because I just was like, I must have it. Like it's like everyone says it's so fucking contagious, right? Like so contagious to the point that like anywhere you're like, there's people around, like there's a 6 feet, like you have to wear a mask. have to wash your hands constantly. So I'm like, how is it possible that I don't have it? So
But
initially,
you know what the doctor said? Because I was actually really worried about you and Taika too. He was saying that there is some sort of immunity that's building, because he says it's pretty common for him to see in a house, like households will go and get the test. You know, like the minute one person feels weird, the whole household come, because everyone wants to know what to do. Like, what's the strategy at home, right?
yeah.
And it's pretty common for one person to get it in the household and everyone else is fine. Either everyone else is fine, as in they test negative,
Yeah.
or everyone's fine, they test positive but just have no symptoms.
Yeah. And that's kind of what happened with us. So
Yeah.
when you told me, I'm like, okay, well, we have it. So I was just preparing for the worst. I was just like, okay, I got to tell my mom. We got to tell anybody, because I knew that at that point, you don't show symptoms based on like the research I had done in the past with like the CDC website. They said that sometimes the symptoms don't even show up from like 5 to 6 days, or even sometimes in weird, wild cases up to 14 days.
Yeah,
It's
a new thing. So there's still new data coming out all the time.
Yeah. So then for us, we just had Thanksgiving, you know? So, and then that time we had dinner with the, 2 of our friends. So we had dinner at our place with them. And then we had Thanksgiving, and then we kept that small, you know, cause like we were keeping it, you know, like we were following the rules. So it was just literally me, you, Taika, my mom, my little sister, her husband, and my niece. Like that was it. And it's my little niece, you know? So immediately I'm like, holy shit, we got to tell everybody to get tested just in case, especially my mom, you know, who spends like the most time with us.
Yeah.
So this whole time.
And she's the most susceptible to like older people.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, thank God she's really healthy and she takes care of herself. So she doesn't have any major issues. But yeah, that was like my initial going like, oh shit, I got to tell everyone that I could think of that we interacted with, including like our gym.
In the last week, especially.
Yeah. Like our staff, like we had a meeting with, you know, Nadeem, for example. Like we met with him for like 2 hours. We had we had a meeting with him. Like we were in the office. I mean, we were like way far apart, but I mean, it's super contagious, right?
Yeah.
So, I wasn't even thinking about getting tested because again, I assumed that I had it. I didn't want to get that fucking nose swabbing shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm just going to deal with it. We're going to stay in the same house. We'll go through it together. But then after telling all our friends and stuff that we had, or like, and staff that we had interacted with, we told them to get tested. I was like, well, you know what? I think you told me, you were like, I think you should get tested just for peace of mind so that, you know, if you've had it before, or like, if this is going to be the first time. And I was actually,
well, I was like, I just started freaking out too.
What?
Because I remember when I came home and I had like, I put a mask on my bed. I'm gonna start getting ready for quarantine. And I think you're like cooking or baking cookies or something. And you're like, I swear my throat is scratchy now too. I swear to God. Oh no, I feel it coming on. I'm like, hey, I think
I swear.
I said, baby, we should just go get tested then. And you go like, no. I know I got it. I know I got it.
Well, why wouldn't I have it, right? Like it only makes logical sense.
Why would you randomly, your throat start feeling scratchy in the middle of baking cookies?
I know. I started feeling shit because like then that's like we don't really pay attention to our bodies. You know what I mean?
I do.
We're constant. You pay attention to my body?
Yeah, your body especially.
No, but like we constantly have aches and pains. Like when you sit there and you really think about it, you have a ton of aches and pains. Like your back hurts, or that one toe hurts, or that toenail, or like shit hurts your body. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's not until it's pointed out that you're like, oh shit, that's true. It does hurt me. So I think when you said you had it, I'm like, oh fuck, wait, wait, my throat feels kind of funny. So yeah, you suggested it. And then, and I'm like, well, you know what? That might be a good idea. And I'm glad I did.
Me too.
Because I would hate, one, obviously, to have my mom be sick, but then 2, to just take care of Taika, who's sick and doesn't know what the fuck is going on. I don't hate the part of taking care of him because, I mean, I love taking care of him. Yeah. But the part that I would hate is for him to get this sickness and I can't do anything for him, but just like wait it out.
Yeah.
So because of that, I'm like, yeah, I should go get tested. And honestly, like honest to God, I didn't want to get it done because I just didn't want that. I I kept seeing images of that shit fucking getting jammed down your fucking nostril, poking the back of your brain. And I'm like, holy fuck, how painful is that shit? Like, I'm just going to assume that I have it, just fucking get sick. But
You never
yeah,
wanted to do it just so you don't feel left out of 2020 of getting.
But I did do it already, but I did the inside, the mouth.
No, the nose jam. Everyone's been doing the nose jam.
Nah, fuck that. You know when my mom was like, you know, my parents were like, if all your friends jump off the cliff, are you going to do it too? And I'm like, well, maybe because I don't want to be alone without friends. But honestly, I was like, no, because that's stupid. You know, like I don't necessarily have to be part of the pack.
I don't even know where that saying comes from. I'm like, why do people want to jump off the bridge so bad?
Oh, I think it's just an extreme example.
Yeah, but what's the draw to it, you know?
That's the point.
Because if they're
that's the point.
No, the point is usually people do things because there's a draw to. So that's like the more accurate thing would be like, so if all your friends buy new cars, you want to buy a new car too? Like there's an actual draw to it. Oh,
that sounds pretty cool. Yeah, I think I would want to.
I do. Because what they're saying is like, so if all of your friends cut off their own feet, are you going to do it too? I'm like, which one of my friends are going to cut off their own feet? No one wants to cut off their own feet.
Well, I think it's just reckless behavior, you know? So they're just saying
you got to make sense though.
Okay, well, let's tell all of our grandparents and their parents to just switch it up. Okay?
I will. This year.
You heard it here first.
When I go visit my grandpa at the cemetery, I'm going to put my hand on the tombstone. You should have used better examples, dude.
Yeah, it didn't work.
Yeah.
So
you tested negative, and Taika also tested negative.
Yeah, he got the nose thing. I had to like trick Taika a little bit. And I'm like, hey, the doctor's here.
You did a good job. You did a really good job of that.
Who did?
You did.
Oh, me? Oh, yeah, I know. He's just so scared.
I saw what you were doing. And I'm like, oh, that's really smart.
Yeah, I was like, okay, doctor's going to check your boogies, okay? And then the doctor like picked up on it. And he was so gentle, thank God. The test, let me go back with that. The test was not bad at all. Like, it wasn't bad at all. It looks way more extreme than what it is. And it honestly just felt like if you twist a little piece of paper, like toilet paper, and you twist it and you just kind of want to tickle your nose back there, that's what it feels like.
The influenza test was worse.
Well, what was it?
So I don't know why, but the corona test, yeah, you went back there. The influenza test, you had to do both nostrils.
They did my both nostrils.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, for my COVID, they only did one nostril.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
And maybe because they knew they were going to take a bunch of them from you, but.
And then for my influenza one, they went wee, and then wee.
No, we got both. Me and Taika got both nostrils.
No, Taika just got one nostril.
He got two nostrils.
I mean, he has two, but only one got tested.
No, I'm telling you, both of them got poked.
Really?
Yeah, because he did one side and he goes, okay, look. And then he did it again on the other side.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, remember I was holding his head from like, because he kept shaking it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that was my initial reaction to it. So you never really thought about it? Like you never were like, because you said you didn't initially have time to think about how you felt.
Well, yeah, I just thought about, oh shit, I'm not going to squat 500 this year. Like that was like one of my biggest goals was I wanted to run a marathon and squat 500 in the same year.
But you have asthma and this thing, they always say it attacks the lungs and stuff.
Yes.
And people, what the fuck?
So like, I think like anything, you know, there's like, you kind of just forget. I remember when COVID first came out, I was really weary because I had asthma, right? So like the two things that made people the most susceptible at the time of research was if you had diabetes and then if you have any type of respiratory issues, because COVID attacks your lungs. So I fall into category 2, right? So I was like, oh shit, God damn it. They would come out with something that's going to directly kill my
affect you.
Yeah. And so I was really scared. But I think, you know, just like over time, like kind of like, I think like all of society, like you slowly start to like get acclimated to the news and and you kind of get numb towards it.
Yeah.
So, and also I know now too, like the hospitals aren't as jam-packed as it was before. Right. They have way more research. They know different ways to treat it.
Prevent.
So it is like a different medical climate now that we're in December versus what it was like in March. You know?
Yeah.
So I wasn't like, and I really trust the American medical system. So I wasn't that worried. And maybe there's also just a part of me that's just always ignorant and uber optimistic towards everything. You know, there's always just that part of me that's like that, where like, I'm just like, just focused on what's at hand, and what's at hand is trying to squat that 500. So I think there's just that part of it, you know?
You fucking made it. Yeah, I think that was my initial scare, was that I know when you get sick, it's always the worst case scenario sick.
Yeah.
Like any common cold, you always get it the worst because your immunity is just not as superb as someone like
As yours,
me.
Yeah.
So yeah, and because I know that it attacks the respiratory system, and I know yours is already slightly compromised.
Yeah.
I was just so scared. So like the first day you were saying like you had a tight chest, but you were like, that's why you were like, I'm not sure if I have COVID, you know, because every time I get the cold, it literally feels this way.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens. So then day 2 rolls around, and that was the first thing I wanted to know. I'm like, how does your chest feel?
Yeah, literally every time I get sick, because I have asthma, the first thing is shortness of breath. Like that's the first thing. So like when I was reading through all the symptoms of COVID, I'm like, that's literally me every cold, except for the loss of smell, loss of tasting. That's that I've never experienced when I got sick before. But ironically, I don't have that right now. I could taste just fine. I could smell just fine. But the one thing that is really different this time around, and what's cool too, guys, is for those of you guys who are listening, I've been vlogging since day 1 of the quarantine. So if you want to see how I live day to day, and even how Ma Bear has to take care of me day to day from outside of the room, you can follow us on our vlog series. We'll probably upload that soon whenever I get out and I can pass the footage out to our editor. But I've had the most insane headaches ever, like over 24 hours, constant throbbing. Like, have you ever had a caffeine withdrawal headache?
No.
Okay. I guess I can only equate that to like a migraine.
But I can imagine.
So yeah, like I was taking the max amount of Tylenol that the bottle told me, and I would take the max amount of it, and it'll bring it from like a 8 or a 9 down only to like a 5. So I still have it. It was just like constant headache, like crazy. As soon as like the 4 to 6 hours it says it's up, I immediately take like another 2, because I could feel it spike right back up. And usually, like when I have a really bad headache, I could try to sleep it off. It hurts so much I couldn't sleep. Like,
wow.
I'm just like, oh my God, it hurts so bad. It was for over 24 hours.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And it was so bad to the point, like I wanted to throw up. It made me nauseous. I couldn't really move my head around fast. Like even my eyeballs kind of hurt. So if I like stared up, it would feel pressure on my eyes. If I looked around, I'd feel pressure all over the place. Like that was insane. That was like
ouch,
the worst headache I've ever had, because it was constant. And even after taking medicine, it didn't really go away. It only just brought it down. Yeah.
Sucks. Let me pause you there real quick, because I want to bring in our next sponsor. All right. And thank you to our sponsor, Skylight Frame. I absolutely love this. I actually gifted this to my mom for her birthday, but with the holidays right around the corner, if you have that person on your Christmas list or your holiday gifting list that you're just like, I don't know what to get this person has everything, I guarantee they don't have a Skylight Frame. And for those of you that don't know, Skylight Frame is a photo frame that you can update instantly by email from anywhere. And this is why I love it, because my mom is not someone that's super tech savvy. So anything that goes beyond plugging it into a wall, she's like completely like lost. So with this, you connect it to the wall, you sign up for an email, and that's the email that you're going to be using to send the photos to, and that's it. So it's like a less than 60-second setup. It's really cool because once my mom plugs it into the wall and I've had that email sent made for her, all I'm doing now is just sending pictures to that email, and automatically those pictures get uploaded into the frame. And the frame is kind of like this revolving, what do you call it? Like where the pictures
like a
revolve.
rotational.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. You
carousel,
didn't help.
Like a carousel.
Yeah, like the Something like that. Yeah. So it just changes on its own. And it's so cool because she'll just call me up and say, hey, did you just upload this picture? Because I love it. So it like, if you want to just randomly surprise people, put a smile on their face, Skylight Frame is for you. So for everyone listening right now, you guys are going to get a special offer of $10 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame when you go to skylightframe.com and enter code BEAW, BEAW. That's right. $10 off your $10 off your purchase of a Skylight Frame. So just go to skylightframe.com, enter code BEAW, SKYLIGHTFRAME. Oh, nice flow. .com and promo code BEAW, BEAW. And we are back. Yeah, that sucks. And I think at that time too, you had asked, well, you already had the headache. So I think when you were pulling clothes and like, what did you pack?
I just packed what I thought were going to be essentials. So I packed maybe like a bunch of underwear. I packed.
Have you ran out yet?
No, I packed.
Okay, good. You packed good.
Yeah. I packed PJs. I packed a couple sweats, hoodies, my blanket, my pillow, shampoo. So just almost as if I was going to travel.
Okay.
Pretty much as if I was going to travel, but then also the protein, of course. Don't want to lose.
You have protein with you?
I don't want to lose my gains. You know what I'm talking about?
You're a fucking meathead. Oh my God.
And then I pack my supplements. What else did I pack? That's it. Oh, and then 2 dumbbells, just in case I started feeling better, then I can start getting at least a head start on it. I don't want to fall too far away from 500.
That's fucking cute.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was definitely it was definitely a challenge for sure. Like trying to adjust because like I said, so once we found out, we told everyone that we felt like we interacted with, we tried to trace back all the steps of where Bart had been, not necessarily to catch. I mean, obviously, right? Like that's where your head goes immediately. Like you want to think like, man, who could have it been? Right? Like, Were you upset? Were you like, what motherfucker was not being responsible? Were you kind of mad?
No, I wasn't mad at all because I just know that the possibility of catching it could be anywhere.
Yeah.
You know? It could be the one time that like I pumped gas and I didn't immediately use hand sanitizer and maybe like I scratched my face or I picked my nose or something, you know, like there's just like since the onset of it in February, pretty much, it's been 8 months and just how the world's moving. People are trying to find their new normalcy. People going back to work, supermarkets, going to
things are opening back up.
Yeah, things are opening back up. Going to the park, going to the restaurants. Us getting mail. I remember like the first time we would get packages, we would let it sit out there the 2 days or whatever, you know. But then now it's like I see people open the door, pull the packages in, immediately open it. It's just like everyone wants to return back to normalcy as fast as possible. So the possibility of where I can get it from is literally anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's so true. It really is. I was definitely going like, wait, where could he have gone? What did he do? Because you're like a creature of habit. So
yeah, I do the same exact things every single week.
Yeah. Like, it's like, if you didn't go to the grocery store, then it's like literally you wake up, go to the gym, you know, go to the office, come back home. Like those are like the only 4 places you go to, like, we go.
And I'm pretty careful too. Like, I mean, every time we go to the grocery store, you see me, I get the towel first. And if they didn't spray my cart for me, I'll spray my cart first, you know, and I wipe everything down. And then when I come out, I use hand sanitizer. Like
you have a whole thing in your car.
In my car, yeah, I have hand sanitizer in my car. And I am one of those guys that sometimes drive around by myself with a face mask because I forgot to take it off. You know, like I'm pretty careful. And so even while being that careful, like I think just going through life, you're exposed to risk. So I don't know where I would get it from. David thinks I got it from the corner of Taika's blanket, the one that he smells all the time. That smells disgusting. Because David was like, "You probably got it from Taika's blanket because that corner is the nastiest corner in the world."
It's fucking cute.
The corner that he sits on all the time.
That crusty ass shit.
Yeah.
When we wash it, he'll tell my mom sometimes, he'll be like, Grandma, why did you wash it? I can't find my corner. And he's trying to like find his nasty fucking corner.
This kidney.
When my mom got tested, because she went to the same clinic we did because it only took like 15 minutes.
I like that clinic. They're fast and they give you results.
And they're so nice. Yeah. And she was kind of going back to what you were talking about, like how we're building immunity and members of the same household will show very different results, kind of like case in point us.
Yeah.
But she was saying that there was a couple there that were also waiting for the results that got there. What happened? You got really hot?
No, I'm getting cold.
Oh.
I had it open because it was really hot this morning.
Oh, okay. What? It was not hot this morning?
Oh, no, because I took a shower.
It's 46.
Oh, no, because I took a shower.
What the fuck?
I took a shower, so I got really hot.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so she's waiting for test results. So was this couple. And I guess they were there before her because she got to hear the results because I guess they walk out too to tell people.
Yeah.
And then the doctor was like, told the guy, hey, you're negative, and told the girl, you're positive. And she was so mad. The lady was like, what are you talking about? Is this even accurate? Are you sure you did the test right? And the guy's like, yeah, pretty accurate. This is like the best we can do. Like, he's like, you're more than welcome to take the test again, but like, this is what it is. We could do it again.
I feel so bad for medical professionals. Like, the hard part of their job isn't even the science part. And that's the part that they're trained for. The hard part of their job is dealing with people.
Yeah.
You know, when people hear things they don't want to hear,
it's your fault.
Man, they're in denial.
Yeah, you're the bearer of bad.
Yeah, and then you got to deal with that lady. You know, like that lady that's like, you fuck, like you do you even know how to test things right? I'm like, oh, I feel so bad. And then all that guy wants to do, the medical professional, he just wants to help you.
Yeah.
But then now he's being accused of like fucking with tests.
Yeah.
I feel so bad for him.
So yeah, the doctor was like, no, these tests are pretty damn accurate. He was like, you can test again. But yeah, my mom was like, holy crap. And yeah, my mom got her like all of our friends, thank God, literally all of our friends got tested. And
they're all negative.
They all came back negative. Thank God for that. We got
Anna negative, Jeremy negative, Joe negative, Nadeem negative, Tim Chia negative.
Yeah, a lot of people are negative.
Yeah, everyone's negative, which is awesome.
Yeah, and then even for our gym, because we knew Bart interacted, you know, like he trains there and stuff, we're like, well, did it come from there? So then we literally shut down our gym for 2 days. We hired a professional cleaning
sanitation and sanitizing company, third party.
Yeah. And they came in and they cleaned everything. They sanitized everything. We let the gym sit there, just kind of like absorbing it and stuff. And then the following day, within those 2 days, we had all of our staff get tested. So they all got tested, and everyone that was negative had negative test results. Then they came in the day after to now manually sanitize everything again. Just to be extra safe. Because when the third party sanitation people come in, they don't understand the inner workings of our particular business. So we were just afraid that they were just kind of spraying on top, like topically, and not really like getting into the nitty gritty of things. So the gym team got there, and now we're requiring all members that come in now to show results of negative results dating, you know, before like Bart got sick. So like we're trying to take like it becomes an extra headache, right? Because like people are like, damn it, I just want to train or whatever. But we're like, no, dude, like look at it, it happened in our backyard, you know?
Yeah.
So we just want to make sure that now moving forward, as much as we can control, we're not going to allow the spread of this virus, you know?
Yeah.
I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah. I think it's kind of a blessing in disguise because like all mom and pop gyms, like we're all struggling to open and trying to find ways to open and stuff, you know, and we all want to find, and even like restaurants and drink shop, like you go in, you know, and everyone has pretty much similar protocol, which is they have like the temperature check. Okay, you're cool. Then you can come in. But that's actually just like very on the surface, you know? So I think, actually this new protocol that we have where all staff gets tested before they come back to work, and then all members get tested before they get to come back in. That level of stringency, I think, is really good. It's really awesome, and it's really needed right now.
It is. Yeah, it is. I really liked it. And it's really cool to see how many free testing sites there are. So, like I know for a lot of people, sharing that you got the virus is looked down on.
Is it?
You know what I mean? Well, a little bit, right? Like, okay, so now like look at all this media attention that it's gotten, right? Like we're told every single day, please wear your masks. If you don't have to leave, don't leave. You know, like please like keep your social distance. Like, so there's so many things going like, don't get sick, don't get sick. We're giving you ways not to get sick. So then when you get sick, at least this is how I'm taking it. When you get sick, it goes to show that you were being irresponsible and careless somewhere, right?
Oh, yeah, people think
like that's how
they think you're busting a Gavin Newsom.
Oh, yeah, good one. Yeah, you know, so like,
or technically everybody.
Like I felt slightly embarrassed that like we had to give the news to our friends that like, hey, Bart caught it. Because a part of me was thinking like, where the fuck was Bart so reckless and irresponsible? Like I was a little bit upset. Like obviously I care about you, and I'm like, damn, I hope he's okay.
No,
and
you're
like,
just waiting for a chance to yell at me.
No, I want to take care of you and stuff, but like,
sure.
But I hate inconveniencing people. You know what I mean? Like I hate my actions altering the well-being or the state of how someone can live their life because of me. Like I hate that, you know, like I just want to stay in my lane, do my own thing, put my head down, get to work, get out, not make a negative impact anywhere. So the fact that we had to share this news now with our friends, and now they have to go get tested. Now they have, you know, they're scared. Like I was like, fuck, this fucking sucks. You know, like it puts a lot of pressure on the person that has to give that news. At least that's how I'm taking it. Maybe for you, you don't think that way. But yeah, like I just thought it was really cool that you were like, we got to do the right thing. You know, we got to tell people. And I'm sure I'm not the only one that thinks this way. So like just seeing how you handled it and like how we handled it, you know, was really encouraging for me to be like, yo, like you just got to do the right thing always. You know, you got to try to do the right thing always.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we even talked about me living in a hotel, you know, just to like be super even more quarantined from you and Taika too.
But then even then I'm like, how can you do that? Like, how can you be sick and then go to a hotel and then possibly get other people? So I'm like, no, what the fuck?
True. Yeah. Or Airbnb.
Yeah, of course. Like, I'm like, no, I would never allow for you to do that. Like,
or go live in a tent somewhere.
That's better, right? Because now you're not risking anyone. But like, I get where you were coming from at that moment. You were just trying to think of how do I protect my own, you know? But for me, I'm like, well, wait, we're all in this together. We're all like, I believe in karma. What goes around comes around. I believe in like, you know, I believe in like doing the right thing for the betterment of everybody. That when that was suggested, I'm like, that just doesn't make any sense. Like, why would we put other people at risk because you're trying to keep us safe? Like, if that's what you really want to do, yes, go in the backyard and stay in a fucking tent and I'll just like throw your food at you.
Yeah.
But no, so you stayed in that room and I'm happy you did. Everyone tested negatively. And that makes me really, really happy. Right now I'm trying to look into buying like just test it. Like I'm trying to see if I can get my hands on just like individual at-home testing kits so that we can always have it. So just in case, you know, you're feeling or I'm feeling a little bit under the weather, I can get tested immediately. I know there's a lot of free testing sites that I can go to, but sometimes I just don't have, you know, the time or the resources to do that. So like, yeah, I'm just always trying to think of now, at least I'm trying to think of, okay, Bart already has it. He got it. He's good. Like the rest of us that didn't get it, I'm like, fuck, I want to have some sort of, I don't know, quick results, like access to get it. Cause I know when you do the free one, it takes a couple days.
Oh, that one takes a couple days because that's into the lab.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah. I think it takes like 2 days. Yeah. But I'm glad you're feeling better. Like, I'm glad you didn't have...
I'm feeling way better. Like, I think the toughest one was just the first day. But even that one compared to like the worst flu I had like in Vegas, I would take that over the flu I had in Vegas all day long.
You would take this right now?
Yeah, the one I had in Vegas, I
That
thought
was
I was
bad.
gonna die. Like I never wanted to pay $1,000 for someone to come see me right then and there so bad.
Yeah,
So
that was really bad.
the headache. And for a respiratory focused, I guess, like virus, my lungs are actually not bad. Like I've coughed way more. So I haven't really coughed that much. And I do have phlegm though. I mean, I'll get phlegm and I'll have like 3 or 4 phlegm coughs throughout the day where I get like big chunks of yellow, but it's still not as bad as some of my other ones. And then I would say probably like after 2 days, the majority of my healing happened. So I would say after 2 days, I was back at like 70, 80%. And then now the next couple of days has just been like little, like 1-5%. Like every morning I wake up and see how I feel. And I'm pretty aware of my body. And I'm like, oh, okay, I feel like I only got like maybe 1 or 2% better than yesterday. Yeah.
Yeah, that's really good. Just because I know how weak your immune system is, I'm really proud of you because like before this happened, you hadn't really gotten sick. You know, like granted, you haven't been training for any sort of competition, but literally like every year you would get sick. Like I
haven't gotten sick for like 2 or 3 years straight.
Yeah, you've done really good.
Yeah, I've been pretty religious with both my supplementation. So making sure my body is optimized from a micronutrient standpoint. And then also managing my stress levels and training. Like, you know, which this is something I've never done before. If I had a really tough work week and I still had to like gym it, I would still just do it. But then both work and stress and relationships and family and training, they all stress your CNS, you know? But now I've done
not relationship.
Especially relationship.
No.
Yeah.
I think that one heals your soul.
No. It heals the soul, but it kills your CNS. So even with that, I think I've done a pretty good job managing it the last couple of years where like if I had a tough work week, I'll take the day off. Like I actually won't train a certain day. Or if I go in, I'll go like way lighter than I usually do. So I think you did a great job for the last 3 years. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I feel like if you weren't as stringent with your supplements and just eating better and sleeping more and listening to your body and regulating your stress levels, I think it would have probably hit you way harder.
Yeah. I would have for sure got sick at least once a year.
Well, I mean, this right here, what you have, you know, hitting you way, way, way harder. Like, I'm telling you, I was scared for you. I'm like, oh my God, like, should I keep, like, I was even thinking of putting a baby monitor in your room so that I can hear how your breathing is. Cause I was like, I just know that it attacks the respiratory system. And I didn't want you to like not be able to breathe. And then, you know, like maybe not be able to get to me. Like I was thinking worst case scenarios.
You really love me, huh?
I mean, yeah.
You're kidding me.
Yeah. And like it's been a challenge, but maybe we'll save that for our next podcast because for now it looks like we've reached the end of this podcast.
Oh, we're done? We ran out of time?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, for everyone listening out there, please, I beg you, if you feel any sort of abnormal health behavior, like if you wake up and you kind of have a slight scratchy throat, don't just go out and about into the public. Like just go get it checked. Right now everything's like you can get it checked for free, you know, wear your face mask, socially distance. If you don't have to be outside, then don't, because right now it's peak.
Yeah, and surprisingly, there's actually a lot of places you can get tested and they'll let you know within like 20 minutes. So even when I first caught COVID,
well, that one's at a cost, right? Like,
that one is at a cost. That one is at a cost. But if you can afford it, there are places that won't take too much out of your day. Mm-hmm. So that's good to know. So if you feel anything, go get tested. Yeah.
Yes. And with that, I want to close it out and say thanks to Bart, first of all, for being super transparent and letting us in on what this whole experience was like. I feel like we could still keep talking about this because there's a whole other side, I don't know, like the preparation and I don't know, a whole bunch of other shit that we could talk about. But we'll leave that for the next one. But I do want to thank our sponsors, Usual Wines. For everyone listening right now, go to the website at usualwines.com and use our discount code BEAW, BEAW, for $8 off your first order and try your first glass on them. And also thank you to Skylight Frames. I love it and you're going to love it too. And right now, as a special offer, you can get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight frame when you go to skylightframe.com and enter code BEAW. That's right. You're going to get $10 off your purchase of a Skylight frame. Just go to skylightframe.com, enter code BEAR. That's SKYLIGHTFRAME.com. Promo code BEAW.
And last but not least, go to barbellbrigade.com. We have fully restocked on all of our supplements, from our new horchata protein to multivitamin, immunity support, performance screens, pre-workout, strength stack, everything that you need to start your year right for 2021 and get after those goals, because that's what I'm going to be doing the minute I get out of here. I'm going to try to hit that 500. So I want to see you guys attack your goals too. See you guys next time.
Bye.